Hello again, thank you for joining me for another video. So today I have real heavy spirit on me. Some heavy stuff on my heart and some heavy spirit in the air. So I'm going to attempt to channel this because it does not feel like it is all my own. It feels like there's a message that needs to get out. It feels like there is a reflection that needs to be stated out loud. And I will feel better if I do this. And hopefully whoever needs to hear this will also feel better. The things that are on my mind right now, what's coming up, has a lot to do with feeling very, very sure that you know something. Very, very sure that Spirit's trying to get your attention. Very, very sure that you might have a very crucial role in something. But everyone around you is saying no. And not only is everybody around you maybe verbally telling you no, but the external false light reality, whatever you want to call it, that moving train that never changes, that's always the same. The one that's out your window. Or the window of your TV. Right? That's giving you the impression that reality is one way, and every once in a while you'll like, oh, that was out of the ordinary. Some little thing will come cruising on into your reality, which is esoteric in nature. And by that I mean it seems to be a symbol and a message from the divine specifically. Now, in my life, I have a bunch of events on top of the esoteric. So let's just, as it comes up, so you're aware of what some of these symbols might be happening in your life. Like 11/11. How many of us started out, 30 years ago with the 11/11s? My date I fell off the cliff and got saved by the off-duty paramedic and fireman, 11/11. It wasn't November 11th. It was 29/92. 11/11. It's a break from the rational. It's a break from the ordinary. It's escaping death. It's getting out of the mundane. I had a godmother whose oldest son was born on the same day as I was. We were born the same day. And she had hummingbirds everywhere in her house. Like, she loved them. Prisms. We're talking a massive amount. Out of the ordinary amount of prisms and hummingbirds in her windows. And hummingbirds, this is what, for me, the esoteric meaning, besides just a neon sign from the whatever, the esoteric realms, the symbolic realms. It's like the bird that can go forward and backward. And once you get a certain level of understanding, you become the center of a forward and backward sense of time. So you see things both ways. You don't have just recollection of the past. You can also see future probabilities, I guess is the best way to explain that one. That's what hummingbird means to me. And that's why I believe it's an esoteric symbol. Other people might have different opinions on why they think it's an esoteric symbol. But that's what it means to me. Then, of course, the honeybee. So my actual name is not Meta, believe it or not. It's Melissa. And Melissa is one of those names. No, so you probably had a story from your mom where she told you about why she decided to name you what she named you. And the reason that my mom named me what she named me was because her first choice I didn't smile at. Now, her first choice was Marissa with an R. And I didn't smile at that. And she said Melissa, and I did smile. So that's how I got my name. but it has a lot of esoteric symbolism in it. The letters do, the numbers do when you add them a certain way. When you break them apart, Isa means something, Asi means something, M means something, L means something, Lem means something. You know, they come together. You know, even ass. Even ass. They all have these weird, bigger, esoteric threads that you can pull on. It's a resonance that you're gifted with. We get a gift of resonance. It comes in our name. It comes in our numerology. It comes in our astrology. It comes in the clan, family, tribe, nation, state, and so on. The ocean you feel more compatible with. All of these is a resonance, that the thread that takes you into the true map, so you don't get lost, right? There's like this false map of what life is like. That's not really false, because it is true for the people that it's true for. But if you don't resonate with that, it's false to you, right? So the one that resonates with your heart, because maybe you've done this before, maybe you're just here to help, maybe there's something specific you're supposed to do. You know, maybe you're a compass keeper. Maybe you carry that thread to potential futures that don't suck for everyone. You know, there's something pulling you into those resonances. Hopefully that made sense. So beyond that, my name also means honeybee. It also pointed in the direction of the priestesses. They're the priestesses that took care of Zeus when he was dying. And for me, it's a resonance of what my passion is in the face of the world I'm looking at, which is a lot of people waking up out of a dream that wasn't good enough. You know how if you're like having a bad dream and you like shake yourself awake? It's like that's what kind of people are waking up to. So that part of me that wants to, like, what do honeybees do, man? They go around, they keep all of the stuff capable. They make sure everything is pollinated, right? Bees are so it's like one, if you understand the esoteric nature of reality, if you can see that map. I can't show you the map. I can tell you, if you see these things, you probably have a line to the map, and you should keep on pulling the thread. I can tell you that much. But like the six sided hexagram, and the way that it perfectly makes these honeycombs, perfectly makes. I think I've even heard before, like, someone described all these different universes and they fit together perfectly like honeycombs. They saw an image in their mind, they saw a vision in their mind of multiple universes, and the way that the universes were stacked together was like a honeycomb. It's also a lemon balm. And lemon balm is one of those really awesome herbs that I highly recommend for anyone who has anxiety. If you suffer from anxiety, get yourself some lemon balm. I think it's like Melissa officinalis or one of those weird terms. But it's like my life had this like little open book for me to look at, and just like if you find yourself in the woods somewhere, and you're trying to figure out which herbs or flowers. It's the end of the world. There's nothing left. You're out in the woods. You got to know what a plant plant is going to help you, they look like what the problem they solve, or what they're good for. So my name itself has been a balm to me. It's been a like reminder in my face. I'm not going to tell you my last name because you're the internet, but my last name also very very pertinent. And the funny thing is that I got married. I've actually had 4 last names. It's a long story how it came to be this. Yeah. Every last name had significance, esoteric significance. I can't tell them all to you. I wish that I could, because it is astounding, the esoteric significance of the names. Like my grandmother's maiden name, my grandmother's married name, which is one of the cooler names I've ever heard. I didn't even know it was. Like I remember when I was a kid thinking, why is there 2 A's in her name, in her last name, 2 A's right next to each other? Because it's kind of a weird thing. What else? So some of the ones when I was exactly waking up. I think I've mentioned before the numbers that one of my big events was on 3303. One of my big waking ups. And you'll find the date. Look up what else happened the year you were born. It's probably pretty significant. It will give you threads. It will give you threads to things that you, clues and resonance. This is only if you're trying to make sense of an invisible map. The map is invisible. You get threads to it. You put your thread through. I mostly just leave it invisible. And I just trust that I'm threading my little piece through this larger tapestry. That's like, I know what my intention is. Other people might project things on you, but if you know your intention, then you can look at these things that have meaning and significance to you, and no matter how much people tell you you're full of crap or that is meaningless, everything is just the meaning you make of it. No, that's not true. It isn't just the meaning you make of it, because we have common language. And these threads of resonance, this esoteric symbolism, is also a language that has meaning for this invisible map of intention. To keep hope, to keep your goodness going, to believe that things get better, and that heart, that internal pushing and pulling, leads to this connection to something bigger than what we're currently experiencing. I don't think we just imagine some kind of perfect life for ourselves within this context of suffering. I think we weave a blanket that's big enough for everyone to fit under. I made a comment on a video not too long ago because I got this connection. I was like, oh my god, I try not to comment on people's videos because when you see things in this symbolic way of this invisible map, they don't understand what the heck you're saying, or they specifically don't want you building this tapestry, and so they'll be mean to you on purpose. They'll make you doubt yourself. They'll tell you that beautiful gold thread that you're adding, that you sense, that you resonate with, that you feel your soul has to give. They'll tell you not to use it. They'll make you feel bad about it. You're missing out on all this other stuff. They'll punish you in one way or another. Ridicule you. Right? And you have to trust. And I guess that's why I'm making this video, because that's been the hardest part for me. It's like, well, I don't know when that tapestry is going to be done. So anyways, let me get back to what I said. So what the point of what I was saying, Paul from the Bible, Paul from the New Testament. Paul's such a big character in the New Testament, right? Like, why even bother reading the New Testament if you're not going to read what Paul says? Because Paul had so much to say. And in there somewhere, it says something about Paul being a tent maker. So that was the comment that I made on the video. Because it was about the video was about the firmament and the tent and something about tent pegs, some symbolism related to that. And I said, oh, Paul was a tent maker. I wonder if that has something to do with what you're talking about. This weaving of this blanket, right? This tent, this blanket. But when I went to pastors when I was younger, because I felt called, always felt called to something spiritual work. I'd never been a time when I didn't feel called. Every single thing, every test that I went through, every horrible thing that I did or didn't do, it's all been this weird calling. And so I would go to pastors. I've probably been to 5 maybe in my life where I'm like, it feels like God wants me to do something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I think I even talked to the pastor in this town. I think he responded once, never responded again. I'm like, hey, I wrote this workbook. It might help people. I feel like God wants me to do something. If you would like to use me for something, I am here to serve. And so anyways, when I was younger, and I had more than one pastor, but made it like, well, you're supposed to work. Like, that's, everybody's supposed to be working. I don't know what you're called to do, but I know you should go to work. Why is everyone obsessed with me getting a job? That's been like all I've ever heard out of people's mouths is go get a job. Like, and he said, even Paul was a tent maker. Jesus was a carpenter. Paul was a tent maker. And, this is when I was young and did not understand the symbolic language of everything. But this is the false light you have to be careful about, because they are switching the meaning of things. There's deeper and deeper layers of things, and you have to actually sit and contemplate them. Like understanding that invisible map, the invisible tapestry that we are adding our threads of resonance to, combining together, co-creating. Yeah, and I guess the other big one, the big one for me, like when I got taken to Boulder, and it really felt like the spirits took me to Boulder to be repaired, because a lot of damage had been done from the time they first came through to wake me up. Fast forward 10 years, they took me to Boulder. And for me, when I was in Boulder and I was having this spiritual awakening, and I've left videos about it already, about some of the strange happenings there. Everything now that everything was reflecting back now. So I went, that hummingbird forward and backwards thing, that was like, oh, this is all here waiting for me, and it all has meaning connected to it's the paradox. You enter the paradox and you try to maintain your sanity and the impossibility of things being manifest in your world that connect to things that were it's just an impossible paradox that you're suddenly living in. And for me it was like the boulder that got rolled away. So for me, I was having revelation. I was having my own personal apocalypse. Okay, the flooding, the town had major flooding. Boulder had, so there's a whole bunch of abandoned. It looked like a post-apocalyptic scenario. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that happened, a bunch, and for me it was like, oh, the boulder that got rolled away. Like I had to get through the boulder part. Boulder, it kept going through my head because of that part when, they go to the tomb to see if Jesus is there, and, the boulder had been removed or rolled away. It's like that kind of thing will show up in your life and have meaning. And the tricky part is to believe in it, to allow it to unfold in its timing as you're threading right into this larger tapestry, your piece. And you have to keep yourself still embodied. So a lot of people want to go into the darkness, they want to go into the void, they want to go into the emptiness, they want to be done. And it's an offering. And the offering is constant. It's constant sifting. Oh, this is false light. This is the golden thread. This is false light. This is golden thread. You notice the difference. You don't put the poison into the tapestry. The tapestry is the pure golden thread. You weave, right? And you notice, and things are called to your mind, and the symbolic meaning of things meets you. And then you're connected to everyone who gave a shit about purity and joy and the love of the Creator. And white tiger too. The white tiger has been a big one for me. So yeah, it's like intense energy right now. For me, August has been like, what the F? So I'm just trying to ride it out. So if I'm feeling this much spiritual significance in the air, and I've had some time to get acclimated to it, I imagine for the people who it's all kind of new for, they're like, what is going on? Yeah, so if you have questions about specific symbology that you'd like to know more about, if you want personal stories about some of these things, can you just let me know in the comments below? And I'll make more videos on that. Should I do a card reading for the people who stay in 25 minutes? Yes, let's do that, huh? Shall we? Shall we see what the goddess has to say? Alright, we'll just do a quick one. What's the question? How about symbology? Intense August. How do we stay connected in the weirdness? Ecstatic union, Shakti. The awakening of that energy within. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's moving pretty strong right now. So ride that sucker out. It'll clean out all of the poisons. So you can add that pure thread to the tapestry we're weaving. Oh, the world. Gaia. Gaia is ascending. Happy, happy Gaia. Yeah, so the frequency increases, Gaia expands. Gaia has to expand, right? Because the energy is more. And if the pressure builds too much, then we have weird cataclysms. So it's good to, like, you know, transmuting the poisons, adding the golden threads, right? That didn't shuffle at all. That was one of those, like, they just got near each other. They didn't intermingle. Ooh, yeah. Earth Ascension. That's what we're on. That's what we're on. That's the game we're playing, folks. Sorry, that kind of can't so clear my weirdness. I'm sorry. There, try again. We'll get the energy light before we're done. Alright. Oh, the moon. The moon saying hello. And then let's read this one. 18, 19, 18. I can't see. I think that's 18. We'll read this one. The Rainbow Bridge. Okay. Where we're going. Let's see. Can you see? Is that? Yeah. That? Okay. The Mayan moon goddess of creativity. Oh yeah, the shamans have been on it lately. They're trying to help tune into Mother Earth. They will help you. Lots of good energy there right now. Okay. The Mayan moon goddess of creativity, fertility, and healing medicine is the weaver of the fabric of life, the goddess of childbirth and flowing waters, the many-faceted, I don't know how to say that, Chel is fiercely independent and the very origin of life. Chel is the soul of the moon. So sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Weaving the colorful fabric of life through her magic and knowledge. From her skirt flows the river of rainbows, as she is the mother of all plant life. She communes with Source through her lunar intuition and profound introspection, the essence of femininity. She is the gateway to your deepest Piscean emotions that connect you to your life force. Chel is making her presence known to you through her intuitive knowing, your prayers and dreams. She is sending you messages that must be heeded. Pay attention as Chel eats Chel? I don't know how to say it. Calls forth your cellular memory from your subconscious into the light of your conscious mind. Well, X is a big one too. X is one of the biggest esoteric things for me because of a lot of things. But 10, it's a big one. It's one of those numbers that you want to know and pay attention to. Okay. From your subconscious into the light of your conscious mind. So this is all about you already know the symbols are going to resonate, right? As you take time for deep reflection, many mysteries will be revealed to you. Let the information that surfaces assist you in making choices that honor the depths of who you are. So listen, man, they're pulling out the stops here. All right, they're pulling out the stops so you hear. let's hear it. Let's have some honor, for the spiritual energies that are coming through to keep us motivated, feeling supported, capable of having an expanded consciousness, which allows for the spiritual realm to communicate with us. Right? The ego realm, the false slate, the small potatoes. There is an expanded state where you are communicating with spiritual forces and weaving your tapestry. It's not just you're here for a reason. Your life has meaning. There is important symbols, tools, skills that you yourself personally have that you bring to the table that would be really awesome to see in the world. Okay, maybe well with you. Till next time. Take care.